Have you ever wondered why so many men over 60 quietly give up on intimacy, believing their body has betrayed them? Most assume it's all about age, hormones, or fading strength. But here's a surprising twist. Sometimes the real problem isn't hidden deep inside your body, it's on the surface. Something as ordinary as how and where you wash yourself each day could make the difference between frustration and confidence, between decline and renewal. Think about it. Men spend thousands on pills, supplements, or risky treatments, but overlook one of the simplest, most natural tools available: daily hygiene rituals. And I don't mean just smelling fresh. I'm talking about caring for very specific parts of your body that quietly control blood flow, nerve health, and even testosterone levels. When these areas are neglected, your body pays the price in ways you might never expect. But when they're cared for with consistency, something remarkable happens. Energy returns, circulation improves, and intimacy feels alive again, even well into your 70s and beyond. So, in this story, let's uncover these overlooked areas one by one. We'll explore why they matter, what happens when you ignore them, and how a few minutes of attention each day can restore not just your erections, but your sense of dignity, vitality, and self-respect as a man. First, we need to reframe the way we think about hygiene. It isn't just a matter of staying clean, it's a hidden link to longevity, strength, and the confidence you carry into every part of life. Now, let's pause for a moment and ask a simple question. What actually makes an erection possible? It isn't random. Your brain sends signals, blood vessels open up, and oxygen-rich blood flows in. But here's the catch. If your body is quietly fighting off low-level infections, inflammation, or bacterial buildup, that delicate system can't work the way it should. The vessels grow stiff, the nerves become less responsive, and what once felt automatic now feels unreliable. Most men never connect the dots. They think, it's just age. Maybe I need testosterone shots or an expensive supplement. But in reality, something as ordinary as poor hygiene and overlooked places can silently sabotage your body's performance. I remember one older gentleman who confessed that he felt done with intimacy. He thought his energy had simply expired. But after a checkup, we discovered chronic irritation from poor hygiene in areas he had never considered important. With nothing more than consistent care, warm water, gentle soap, a few extra minutes daily, he slowly regained strength he believed was gone forever. His story proves a powerful truth. Sometimes the simplest habits are the ones that protect our deepest vitality. So instead of blaming age, hormones, or even your partner, let's explore this overlooked connection. Hygiene, when practiced with intention, is not about vanity, it is about survival, dignity, and reclaiming the confidence you deserve. And to bring this closer to life, let's journey through the body, step by step, uncovering 4 surprising areas that hold the keys to stronger erections, sharper health, and greater self-respect. Let's begin where it all starts, at the very root of male vitality. Area 1. The genitals, the root of vitality. When we talk about men's health, this is the most obvious starting point, and yet, ironically, it's the area most often neglected. Many men in their 60s whisper about it with embarrassment, as if proper care down there is something trivial. But let me tell you, your genitals are not just another part of your body. They are the foundation of male vitality, the core of your confidence, and the gateway to intimacy. Here's what often happens. Sweat, natural oils, and traces of urine build up over time. For uncircumcised men, that residue can hide under the foreskin and become a perfect home for bacteria or yeast. At first, you might barely notice, maybe just a faint itch or slight irritation. But underneath, small infections and chronic inflammation are quietly spreading. These problems don't stay local, they travel upward, affecting your urethra, your prostate, even the sensitive blood vessels that allow erections to happen. And by the time many men realize something is wrong, their strength and confidence have already started to slip away. I once heard a story of a retired teacher in his late 60s. He wasn't unhealthy, but he had grown careless with self-care. He assumed a quick rinse in the shower was enough. Over time, intimacy with his wife faded, and he thought, this is just old age. But after being encouraged to pay closer attention, to use warm water, gently cleanse, and actually spend a few mindful minutes each day, he experienced a surprising turnaround. Within months, not only did his irritation disappear, but his confidence returned in ways he never expected. The lesson here is clear. This isn't about vanity. This is about respect for your body, your partner, and yourself as a man. Every time you take the time to wash and care for your genitals, you're not just staying clean, you're protecting blood flow, nerve function, and your own sense of dignity. So, tonight, when you step into the shower, don't see it as a chore. See it as a small but powerful ritual, an act of honoring the very root of your vitality. And once you understand this, you'll be ready for the next step, a hidden place most men barely think about, yet it quietly carries the signals and circulation that make erections possible. Area 2, the perineum, the hidden highway. Now let's travel just a little further down. Between the testicles and the anus lies a small patch of skin most men never think twice about. It's called the perineum. Quiet, hidden, almost invisible in daily life, and yet it plays a powerful role in your health as a man. Why does this matter so much? Beneath that skin run critical blood vessels, sensitive nerves, and the pelvic floor muscles that control both erections and bladder function. Think of it as a secret highway. Signals of arousal pass through, circulation flows through, and strength depends on its condition. Here's the problem when the perineum is neglected: sweat, bacteria, and even microscopic traces of stool can linger. Over time, this creates constant low-grade irritation. And inflammation, as every doctor will tell you, is never harmless. It spreads, it interferes with nerves, it weakens muscle fibers, and eventually it blocks the very circulation you depend on for firmness. I remember reading about a man in his early 70s who had spent years relying on pills, pumps, and treatments, always frustrated by inconsistent results. What no one ever asked him was, "Do you clean this overlooked area every day?" Once he started treating his perineum with the same care he gave the rest of his body, warm water, mild soap, careful drying, something surprising happened. His infections cleared up, the constant irritation disappeared. Slowly, he noticed his erections becoming stronger, more reliable, and less painful. It may sound almost too simple, but the truth is powerful. Ignoring this small patch of skin can sabotage your manhood, and caring for it can restore what expensive pills never could. So here's my advice. Don't see washing the perineum as just a comfort measure. See it as protecting the engine room of your masculinity, your pelvic floor, your nerves, your blood supply. A few mindful minutes here can make the difference between decline and renewal. And if this hidden highway surprises you, wait until you see the next stop on our journey. Because the third area has nothing to do with your groin at all, and yet it may hold even greater influence over your ability to stay firm. Area 3, the mouth, more than just fresh breath. Now, here's where things get really surprising. When men think about intimacy and strength, their mind immediately goes to the groin. But one of the most powerful and most overlooked areas that controls erections sits right under your nose, your mouth. At first, it sounds odd. How could brushing your teeth or flossing possibly have anything to do with performance in the bedroom? But once you understand the biology, It makes perfect sense. Your mouth is home to a vast community of bacteria. When you're young and healthy, your immune system keeps them in check. But as we age, if brushing and flossing are neglected, gum disease or chronic infections can quietly take over. Those bacteria don't just stay put, they slip into the bloodstream. And once inside, they target the very same arteries that feed your heart and your penis. The result? Stiffened blood vessels, poor circulation, and a dramatic decline in the ability to achieve or sustain erections. Let me share a story that illustrates this clearly. A gentleman in his late 60s, let's call him Richard, had tried nearly every ED treatment available, from prescription pills to supplements, with little success. During a checkup, his doctor noticed severe gum disease. Instead of another prescription, Richard was advised to get regular cleanings, brush twice a day, and floss consistently. Within months, not only did his gums stop bleeding and his breath improve, but he also began experiencing firmer, more natural erections. He admitted later, "I never thought my toothbrush would be stronger than a pill." That story isn't unique. More and more research confirms that oral hygiene is directly linked to vascular health. Every time you brush and rinse, you're not just protecting your smile, you're safeguarding the arteries that fuel your energy, masculinity, and confidence. So here's the takeaway. Treat your toothbrush like a prescription for vitality, because every stroke against your gums isn't just about appearance. It's about keeping blood vessels open, flexible, and ready to perform when you need them most. And if the mouth, of all places, can have such a powerful effect, just imagine what happens when we travel down to the very last stop on this journey, a place that with it, the future of your intimacy. Area 4, the feet, the foundation of circulation. Now we arrive at the final and perhaps most unexpected part of this journey, your feet. At first glance, they seem far removed from anything connected to intimacy. But in reality, they tell the clearest story about your circulation, the very system that decides whether or not you can achieve and sustain an erection. Think of it this way. Your feet are the farthest point from your heart. Blood has to travel the longest distance just to nourish them. If your circulation struggles to reach your toes, it's almost certain it's struggling to reach your penis too. And here's the problem. When feet are neglected, when athlete's foot is left untreated, when toenail fungus spreads, or when small cuts go unnoticed, inflammation quietly builds. That inflammation doesn't stay in your shoes, it spreads into your bloodstream, damaging blood vessels and weakening the system that fuels your manhood. I once heard the story of a man in his early 70s who lived with chronic athlete's foot for years. He thought it was just an annoyance, nothing serious. But the constant low-grade infection was silently damaging his blood vessels. Only when he finally treated his feet, washing daily, drying carefully between the toes, and checking for small wounds, did he notice a remarkable change. Not only did his feet feel better, but his energy and erections improved as well. This is why I tell men, washing your feet isn't just about comfort. It's about protecting circulation, preventing diabetic complications, and keeping nerves healthy. When you take care of your feet, you're really taking care of the highways that deliver blood to every vital organ, including the one that defines your confidence in intimacy. So tonight, when you step into the shower, don't just glance over your feet. Give them the care they deserve. A few mindful minutes spent here might just add years of vitality to your life. Now that we've walked through all 4 areas, the genitals, the perineum, the mouth, and the feet, you can begin to see the bigger picture. This isn't just about hygiene. It's about reclaiming your dignity, restoring your strength, and choosing to live the years ahead with energy and confidence. The bigger picture, more than just hygiene. By now, you've seen that these 4 areas, your genitals, your perineum, your mouth, and your feet, are not random. Each one carries hidden influence over your circulation, your nerves, and your hormones. On their own, they may seem like small habits, but together, they form a powerful shield for your vitality. And here's the real secret. This isn't only about sex. It's about how you see yourself as a man. When you neglect your body, confidence fades, relationships grow distant, even your sense of purpose can weaken. But when you care for yourself, truly care for yourself, your body responds in ways that ripple into every corner of your life. I've spoken to men who thought their best years were behind them. They stopped trying. They assumed decline was inevitable. Yet, with nothing more than daily attention to these overlooked areas, they rediscovered energy, intimacy, and dignity. They laughed more with their partners. They felt stronger playing with their grandchildren. They woke up each morning with a clearer sense of purpose. Think about it. Brushing your teeth, rinsing with warm water, gently cleaning your most private areas, washing your feet. These are not chores. They're affirmations. Every small act whispers, I still matter. My health still matters. My future still matters. So, as you step into the shower or stand at the sink tonight, I want you to reframe what you're doing. Don't see it as routine. See it as medicine. See it as a way of protecting your dignity, your energy, and your manhood. Your story isn't over. Age doesn't define the end of your vitality. Your choices do. And something as simple as caring for 4 overlooked areas could mean the difference between quiet decline and powerful renewal. Remember, every stroke of the toothbrush, every rinse of warm water, every mindful moment of self-care is a daily investment in your strength and confidence. You're not just washing your body, you're reclaiming your future. So tonight, as the water runs over you, let it be more than a shower. Let it be a declaration. I am still strong, I am still vital, and I deserve to live fully with the energy, intimacy, and dignity that make life worth living. Let's step back for a moment and retrace the journey. We began at the genitals, the root of male vitality, where neglect can silently breed irritation and weaken erections. Then we uncovered the perineum, that hidden highway of nerves and blood vessels, reminding us that even the smallest overlooked area carries big consequences. Next came the mouth, proof that oral health isn't just about a smile, it's about protecting arteries that fuel your heart, your brain, and your manhood. And finally, the feet, the foundation of circulation, showing us that if blood can't travel there, it can't travel where you need it most. Individually, each habit may seem small, but together they form a daily ritual that protects confidence, circulation, energy, and dignity. At its core, this isn't a story about hygiene, it's a story about self-respect. Every time you take a few minutes to wash and care for these overlooked areas, you are sending yourself a powerful message. I still matter. My health is worth protecting. My future is worth living fully. And that's the deeper truth here. Erections aren't just about intimacy. They're about identity, energy, and the courage to live life with strength, no matter your age. These habits cost nothing, require no prescriptions, and yet they may be the most powerful medicine you'll ever use. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, don't treat your shower or your toothbrush like chores. Treat them like investments. Start this routine, stay consistent, and notice how your body and your confidence begin to change. If this message resonated with you, take Take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe for more practical, science-backed advice on men's health. Your engagement not only supports this channel, it also helps other men discover the tools they need to reclaim their vitality. And before you leave, drop a comment below. Type 1 if you found this helpful, type 0 if you think I can improve. Your feedback matters, it guides what I share next. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about staying clean, it's about choosing strength, intimacy, and dignity, today, tomorrow, and for years to come.